All four of the Junks back in studio. That is a good thing. Glad JP is back.
And barring any disaster, I will be back in studio on Monday, much to my body's chagrin, getting up at 4:30, which I did on whatever day that was yesterday, actually, driving back from New York. There's a big difference between getting up at 4:30 and getting up at 5:30.
Yeah,
Big difference.
I won't be far behind. I'm going to be fully vaxxed end of next week, so I'll be back in studio shortly as well. So I'm going to be right behind EB as far as being back in studio. But we were out in the wild last night because we had a power dinner with Jason Wright, the Washington football team president.
He is a smart dude.
Was it just him?
Just Jason.
Just him. It was me. It was E-Bizzle.
Yeah.
It was CK.
Yeah.
And it was Jason Wright.
Mm-hmm. Right. It was supposed to be you two donks, but obviously JP had a lot going on. Funeral of his mom, family in town. That wasn't going to happen. Jason was supposed to go, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Tummy hurt, diarrhea, COVID. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
In fact, I was getting ready. I was in the shower or whatever at 5:30 and saw a text that Jason had to cancel. I actually was fist pumping because I was thinking Jason Wright was canceling.
Yes.
Because not that I didn't want to meet
him.
Yeah, not that I didn't want to meet Jason, but it was just like it'd been a long day. I got up at 4:30, driving back from New York. JP doesn't know this, but I somehow missed a turn or something, and I ended up in like eastern Pennsylvania. Like, my wife, she looked at my path. She has no idea how I came home the way I came home, which added an hour to my trip.
Yeah.
So yesterday was a full-blown debacle.
It's a farce.
Yeah. And then the idea then to go downtown to dinner. Oh, it gets worse. So what I do sometimes when I'm going to a place, I've never been to this restaurant before. It was fantastic.
It was very good.
But fancy people go all the time, right?
Sure.
What was it called, Cakes?
Is Joe's... Hold on, I have the exact name.
I think it's
Joe's Steak and Stone Crab. Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab in Northwest.
Very close to the White House.
Sounds good.
Could have a longer name.
It's a very word. It's like the Washington football team name.
I'm guessing people will just call it Joe's.
Yeah,
they should just call it 5-star because
Right.
it's silly, right? The food's incredible. The service is incredible. But what I knew I hadn't been there yet. Now, listen, I only live literally, like we debated this before, like a mile and a half from the D.C. line, right? I mean, I'm right there. But this spot was only like 6.5 miles from my house, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But, leaving at 5:30, 6 o'clock, it can take like an hour to get there, even in these times. So I had sometimes I do this, I don't know if you guys do this, I put it up on my phone to see how long it was going to take before I leave, and I kind of judge, okay, it says I'm going to be there at 6:55.
Right.
Now I'll leave, right?
Right.
So whatever, I timed my leaving to then. I get down there right when I'm about to make the big silly turn on H Street, which is right near the joint. All of a sudden, I started noticing streets are blocked off, right? Ooh. And then first of all, you have the whole debacle of, half of DC is blocked off anyway, but there was just cops. And then I was going to go to the next intersection, and 2 cops came from behind me. I thought I got another ticket because the cherries were on and everything. And then they pulled out in front of me, and they blocked off that intersection. I'm like, oh, my God. Luckily, if we didn't have navigation, I would have just turned around and gone home because I wouldn't have known how to get there. Yeah. I ended up going all the way around.
What are those streets blocked off for?
I'm going to tell you. So then I have to keep going. My navigation's telling me to go back, and I'm like, no, going back's not going to work because those streets are blocked off. Then I go all the way around. I don't even know, Constitution Avenue or whatever, come back up the other side, and I think, okay, here you go. I get to turn on 15th Street. Boom! A cop pulls out in front of me, blocks off that intersection. It is full-blown mayhem. I can't get to the restaurant. They're waiting for me in the lobby.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's me, CK, and Jason Wright in like this dark lobby, just hanging out.
I couldn't believe you guys were waiting. So nice.
Loitering. We're just like hanging out in the lobby, waiting for EB to show up.
Yeah.
And by the way, the dinner was already slated to start at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why Jason didn't go.
On a work night.
It was going to be a late
bedtime.
night.
So
yeah,
I'm
that's not the reason, but go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah,
I understood that EB was caught in traffic, but in the back of my brain, I'm thinking, oh, we're not even going to sit down at the table until 7:30.
That's your nightmare.
This is a Tiltapalooza.
No, and believe me, I don't like being late, especially like a first impression late
Right.
for someone, that we want to have a good relationship with, whatever. And so finally, I'm getting ready to turn again. Another street is blocked off, and I'm literally I'm panicking now. And then all of a sudden, 100 cops start coming, and then I realize, oh, the president's going to drive by. So what they were doing is they were just blocking off. I've never seen it before, but I've seen the president drive by. But in 2021, they're taking security precautions I've never seen before. They literally shut the city down for a cavalcade of SUVs and flags. And clearly one of them had the president or the vice president drove by. And then once that happened, I could then go where I needed to go.
Right.
And then use the valet and then run in. And I felt horrible that these guys are standing there in the lobby for 20 minutes, maybe close to 25 minutes waiting for me. Mm-hmm. So it didn't get off to a great start, and I felt terrible. But Jason Wright is such a good dude. He instantly puts you at ease.
Super nice guy.
Super nice guy, super smart guy. We all got along super well. We were there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hour, and I won't go into the
3-hour tour.
Into the sort of the depths of the conversation, but I'll say this: he's super smart too, because I'm now officially, we've had him on the show before, and we knew he was a good, smart, nice guy. Once I meet someone and I get to know him, he's basically immune from criticism for me.
Right. You're one over.
I'm all in. He's such a good dude.
He's up in the ivory tower now. He's unassailable.
What's his title? Is it president? Is he team president?
Team president, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He's so smart. I felt so dumb sitting next to him.
He went to Northwestern.
and talking to him for 3+ hours.
Yeah, really, really bright guy.
Just feels so stupid.
Had this ridiculous career.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking, before EB got there, he was talking about his job prior to winding up with the Washington football team. You know, he's a consultant, and he's like, yeah, you know, my weeks consisted of flying to either like New York or LA or Rome or Brazil. I mean, he's just a globe-trotting business consultant.
Right.
And I was just like,
You were like, I used to work at Toys R Us.
yeah, I threw that zinger in at the end.
He did bring that up at some point.
I mean,
I was so embarrassed. I was shrinking.
He's so accomplished, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And
Cakes worked at Toys R Us, and I worked at golf courses mowing greens.
I had to bring some levity to the whole conversation, EB.
Yeah.
Hey, what did you guys order?
I ordered ahi tuna tartare as my starter, and then I had an 8-ounce fillet.
Yeah.
Medium rare, of course.
I had I think I had the Chilean sea bass. And then some cream spinach for the table. I mean, he said go to town. I mean, it was understood. I think Dan's paying for this one.
Sure. So we knew who was picking up that bill. We were well aware.
Went to town with it. Great conversation, though, without getting sort of into the specifics of it. But, I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, they want to have a good relationship with us. And over the last year, I think since he's taken this job, he's really become sort of, I mean, I hate to say it, but the guy listens every day, it sounds like. And he loves
he's a
it.
big listener because I've exchanged a few tweets with him. By
Yeah.
the way, how about Father Barry at the church bringing up the Junkies, talking about name changes?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Weaved it in. I didn't even hear that
And he
show.
explained the Wayfarers, the term, which I had no idea what.
Well, we
That
discussed
topic
all
may
of
have-
that, believe me.
May have come up at dinner last
We discussed all of that. And we have some insight into how all of that process is going down and everything.
You
It's
got
very
some
interesting.
We're
inside
basically
scoop.
now Washington football team insiders.
Yeah.
After that dinner last night, I'm an insider.
What
I
about-
just am.
Was
You
there any?
basically know who they're going to draft.
Was there any
Talked
dessert?
about that too. Say again?
Any dessert?
Well, the thing is, a lot of us are trying, we've all packed on 25 pounds, so we're trying to be good. So we did go with cappuccinos, which,
Yeah.
by the way, I'm so white
Cappuccino
trash.
at 10:30 at night?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even really know what a cappuccino is. I really don't even know what it is.
It's
I
just
actually
like
asked-
steamed coffee and milk mixed together,
Yes.
and then you dump some sugar into it, and it's
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I've heard the term cappuccino, but I'm not a Starbucks nerd. I'm not, it's just, I have a little coffee in the morning to start the show off.
I mean,
that's it.
Our waiter, I believe his name was Anthony, gave us a delicious looking list of pies, but I was just like, you know what, just gonna go with cappuccino.
Right.
Was
So
this the type of place where you're sitting down and then after your appetizer they take like a ruler and scrape the
Yes.
crumbs
Yes.
off?
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think after
you
the
would've been
app,
nice.
also,
You would've been
Valdez, you would have loved this. After the app, they come around with warm towels to clean off your
Oh,
hands.
yeah.
And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
throw them in the bucket in the
would've-
middle of the table.
It always reminds me of the old 48 hours or whatever, where it's like, sir, may I wash your Johnson? Or you know what I mean? Like they would have done whatever you wanted
right.
for you. Fantastic, amazing meal, great company. I think we're building a really nice relationship. Obviously, we know Julie. We know some people over there. But I think that this relationship with Jason, who's more in the business development side, right? He's not involved in personnel. He's not going to draft players.
That's not his thing.
No, but he's involved with name change, stadium issues,
Right. Community relations,
everything,
all of that.
Parking.
Is he our Jim Van
experience.
Stone for the Washington football team?
Oh, I think so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think so.
Oh yeah. I mean,
He has no
I'm not
idea.
saying- look, I know Jason vowed never to go to FedEx Field, but it might even be 3 years from now they have a new stadium or something. He's our guy, like Jim Van Stone is on the monumental.
Well, the one
sports
thing
side.
that we did talk about, and I think it's fair to say, and to their credit, the narrative has always been, look, FedEx Field has a million issues. No one thinks it's great. But the idea that it takes 3 hours to get in and out of that stadium is really not a thing anymore. And we talked about it last night. They have really worked hard on that the last few years. You can get in and out of there basically equivalent to other stadiums. They have enhanced that part of it. Now, it's a small part, but it's an interesting part because it is a narrative that won't go away, even though it's not actually true anymore.
But the problem is perception is reality.
Right.
And that's his job.
So, like,
is to
Lurch's
try to-
perception is nightmare, never going back.
Right.
What did they do to correct that part of it?
We
though?
didn't get into that.
Didn't go into
deep
specifics,
it,
but it's been something they've been working on for years.
Man, they got to you guys.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Well,
man, they're
I
in
haven't-
one-
I
they're in my
haven't said-
brain.
Yeah, it takes one dinner. To,
You're in
That's
my
all it
feeble
takes.
brain, Valdez.
But hold on, Drabby, I have to say the times that I have been there in the last few years, I have noticed that it's not as big a nightmare. They have figured out some of that getting
I've
in and
never
out.
heard you mention that.
Hey, this is a long tradition of being won over.
I wonder if
It was a
even
really smart move on their part.
Even North Turner did that by giving us a box
me a
of
cigar.
cigars.
You guys want a cigar? It smokes really good.
I would like to see if the Taliban took you guys to dinner.
It could happen.
We'd
See
be
what
Well, I
supporters.
guarantee you it wouldn't be at as nice a restaurant as we were last night if the Taliban took us out. I can guarantee you that.
Are you telling me this brilliant guy, this high-powered man in
Yeah.
Ashburn, is listening to this dumb show every day?
Every day.
Yes.
Now,
That's
I'm going
what
to say
we're
this.
telling you, Drab.
I'm not so forward as to think he's been a long time, first time. No. I think this is
Long time, first
developed since he started working with Washington. What he basically said was he knows D very well back from when he was a player rep, and D repped us very well and said, you got to listen to the Junkies. I mean, they're the
top dog.
They're the big dogs in
Let's
town.
just put it this way. We
And,
would like him to
we
participate
want
in
him
a
over.
survey. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we would do very
We'd be
well.
happy
Eric.
if he was in a survey.
Eric, so 2 days ago, you were talking about Junk's Ring of Fame, Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and you were saying how you didn't feel any love lately.
Yeah, I
Did
felt
this
a
help,
little love
Did this
yesterday,
help
yeah.
with the love?
Put it this way. He was jocking us so much, I had to change the topic.
And he was jockeying us in front of our both, which is always a plus with CK sitting there.
But I
which is always
actually
great.
felt uncomfortable. He was being so complimentary and all, going on and on. But I'm going to put something in that we can't say on air, but I'm going to put something in that it made him endearing to me. He immediately, tapped into some of these conversations that he got a kick out of. And I'll say I typed in the hangout right there.
Oh.
The things. Do you see what I typed in?
Our kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's our kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's our kind of guy that way. Also this. I'm going to type this in real quick.
Give him my number. I can send some stuff to him.
He.
We do have his number now. We'll use that flex.
Hold on, I'm typing in. What he showed us a picture of something.
Oh.
That you would be size for, Valdez.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
We can swap albums.
yeah. I don't want to embarrass him, so
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah, now Valdez is trying to schedule a dinner with
You missed a good one.
Jason Wright.
You missed a good
Did
one.
he mention the producers at all?
I'm trying to think. Cakes.
I
Probably
don't
not.
recall if there was a specific producer's mention.
Oh, he can't be that big of a P1.
No. He's really good.
Where does he live?
He actually lives out. I don't want to say exactly where, but he's
Well,
got a big property. He's moved around a lot.
What-
So
what
he's been here
county?
since 2013. So he started in like Silver Spring and then like Arlington,
Oh,
and then
okay.
he's out in the Northern
I'm
Virginia
not going
area.
to tell
but
you the county, but it rhymes with Bearmax County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah.
So we'll just leave it at that. You can sleuth all you
Yeah, he
want.
probably lives in Great Falls.
I wish I could have gone last night. I was with a lot of the Puerto Rican family came over to the house, But I will say, even without you guys telling me this, he's reached out a couple times when we had an interview. I can't remember who it was.
Right.
And tweeted us, and we've exchanged tweets back and forth. Very complimentary of the show. So I'm happy you guys were able to represent, even if it was only 2 of the Junkies. I'm a little jealous of the meals you ate.
Really good. Really
Yeah,
good.
it
We had a
was
great
delicious.
time.
I'm a little disappointed that the name Crab is in the restaurant and no one got crab.
I mean, they were really pushing the crab hard
Here's
during
the thing, they're
the
like the Miami stone crabs or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't really love those.
I guarantee they had Maryland blue crab. You couldn't get crab cakes?
I don't know.
Don't
Can't
know, but
recall if that was on the
that's
menu.
their thing, though. They were all about this is straight from Miami, and
I did know that after he took our drink order, he didn't take our food order for another half hour.
right.
Jason, Cakes, you're
Cakes
probably
was
doing
on
the old bit, looking at your fake
No,
watch.
I was not checking my phone. Maybe I checked my phone once late toward the end of dinner.
You know what?
Dinner flew by. It was great conversation. It was a good time. We all had a good time. But in the back of my caveman brain, I knew it was late. It was but late.
You combine 7:30 dinner with parking in D.C. and Cakes is just a monkey stilts.
I was good.
I was the one that had a parking
My
issue.
parking, of course, was prearranged, Ricky.
What's that site? What is that site?
Spot Hero.
Spot Hero.
You think I drive into D.C. without having parking taken care of? You know me better than that. Please.
Did they have valet at the restaurant?
Yes.
I had
they
valet,
did.
and I used valet, but I also had to loop around it one time because it was on the other side, like the other street. It wasn't on the street I was coming up, and with one-way streets and everything, I couldn't find the effing thing. It was a nightmare. My trip downtown yesterday, company was great, dinner was great. The trip downtown, disaster.
All right,
Next time I'm just Ubering. F it.
that would be the move. Oh, by the way, big surprise. Jason Wright has driver because he's a big silly.
So jealous.
Well, so does D. Smith wherever he goes.
Of course.
Yeah.
I covet that.